Mute.
This is our story of Adruta Children Home, a happy home for homeless children.
Adruta Children Home is an endeavor to address the cause of the abandoned, parentless, marginalized children.
Every year, we come across at least 500 new cases where children become homeless in Odisha. Some are abandoned, some are surrendered, while some lose their family due to disaster or disease.
Every child is uniquely endowed. Every child is born with a possibility. If a child is given a conducive environment, every child can grow into an extraordinary human being. That is what our effort down the time has proved, beyond doubt.
Jaya Shubha Vajradhara Shubha Kalevara Vyathambara Haradehi Padam Jaya Vishana Ninadaka Klesha Viduraka Vishana Ninadaka Klesha Viduraka Sharvadhidharaka Dehi Padam Sharvadhidharaka Dehi Padam Jaya Shubha Vajradhara Shubha Kalevara Vyathambara Haradehi Padam.
450 बच्चे की मम्मी होना तो बहुत खुशी की बात है. ऐसे सब नहीं कर पाते हैं और आई एम लकी, आई एम प्राउड आल्सो.
When I asked the volunteers who are running this children home about the fund which they were getting, I was surprised to learn from them that they are not getting any government grants. All the material, the articles useful for the children are contributed by many institutions and donors, and even small farmers, laborers, shopkeepers, they contribute by way of small quantities of rice or few small things which will be useful to the children.
माने जीवन सब किछि मिली जाय छै हमको निज बापा मां भले समस्त से स्नेहटा हमको सब किछि जागृत करिछि. तेणु करे आद्रता कहले हमको बहुत गर्व लागे.
It is this strong sense of identity gained in Adruta that enables our children to participate in the mainstream society in a positive and confident way. At Adruta, our remarkable methods and practices ensure that each child is guided to explore their core ability. We also ensure that all our children get the best of nutrition and care in an environment attentive to their physical development, holistic development, life skills, and most importantly, their formal education.
Adruta home children are some of the best students that we have. They are very high achievers and they are hardworking and they believe in excellence.
ଆମେ ଆଦ୍ରୁତାରେ ବହୁତ ଭଲରେ ଅଛୁ, ବହୁତ ସୁରକ୍ଷିତ ଭାବରେ ଅଛୁ. ଆମର ସକାଳଠୁ ରାତି ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ କେୟାର ନେବା ପାଇଁ ଆମ ମିସ୍ ମାନେ ଅଛନ୍ତି. ସେମାନେ ଆମର ବହୁତ ଭଲରେ କେୟାର ନେଉଛନ୍ତି.
हमारे बहुत सारे बच्चे हैं जो कभी सोचते नहीं कि हमारा कहीं कोई नहीं है. तो कभी अगर इन लोग को कोई पूछता है तो भी वो बोलते हैं कि नहीं, हम लोग का मम्मी है और मम्मी है हमारी, और मम्मी नहीं है क्यों बोल रहे हैं.
We plan as much as we can. We work as best as we can. We reach out to people for support as far as we can. Yet our journey has not been an easy one.
It is not that first of all you arrange funds, then think of children. If an abandoned child knocks at your door, it's not a choice. You have to induct the child because you may have opportunity to earn money later, but the child doesn't have an opportunity to survive. So our doors are always open for the abandoned newborn babies who are otherwise deserted. I am very happy to contribute whatever little I could do for this institution. And I am impressed by the inspiring work of Dr. Mohanty.
From Jindal Steel and Power Limited under JSPL Foundation banner, we are really feeling privileged coming here, staying with the children and understanding their need and doing the little bit whatever can be done as a person and also from a corporate side.
A lot has been done by a lot of people and organizations for Adruta children, but then there's a lot more that needs to be done. A small community of well-wishers has helped us sustain all these years. Now it's time we expanded our family. It's time you joined in. Your action today has the power to shape tomorrow of a child who definitely needs it the most. On our part, we're committed to gratefully acknowledge every donation we receive from you and report every expense that we plan and make. So what are you waiting for? Open your heart. Change a life. Today. Reach out to us and call Anand on +91 94384 71488 or mail on adrutahome at rediffmail.com.
Namaste. Welcome to Pavitra. For those who are new to Pavitra, Pavitra is a place where minds meet to chant, to meditate, to sing, to converse on how we can live a better life, a more balanced life, and experience well-being. Pavitra Salute is a place where we honor people who have made a significant difference in the lives of people without thinking of the self-interest. So today on Pavitra Salute, we have a good fortune of having Professor Mohanty with us, who is the founder of Adruta. He's the father of 500 children who are homeless, who are helpless, and he gave them a lot of hope. A little bit about Professor Mohanty. Professor Mohanty has been a very scholarly person right from his earlier days. He graduated in philosophy, where he topped his university. He went on to do his master's in philosophy. He topped over there also with a gold medal. He went on to do his PhD, and he completed his PhD in a record time of 4 months. After excelling in academics, his heart was in social work. So he dived deep into social work, and he was acknowledged by the government and many organizations for the stellar work which he did in the NGO space. And he went about setting up Adruta, which has done commendable work. And the purpose of today's talk is to really understand the kind of work Adruta has done and how we can contribute to their work. So welcome, everybody, and welcome, Professor Mohanty. Thank you very much for coming. It's really a pleasure to have you on Pavitra. So, Professor Mohanty, what does Adruta mean? It's not a very common word which we use. What does it really mean?
Yeah, Adruta means one who is loved and adored. It's in feminine gender. So Adruta means one who is loved and adored. And Adruta means the girls who are loved and adored. Initially, we began with girl children. So the name was Adruta. And later on, the boys were also inducted. From 2 children, now we have 500 or 515. The name remains the same. It means one who has grown in status where people not only love them, but adore them, and even emulate the values that they imbibe, that they cherish.
Thank you. So, Professor Mohanty, what does Adruta do?
Actually, Adruta is an exercise, an humble endeavor to provide a habitat for the children who are otherwise deserted or abandoned, who suffer destitution, deprivation, children who are otherwise marginalized, especially children of unwed mothers who are inducted on the first day of their birth. Often we get them from the nursing homes where the child is left behind because the mother doesn't want to be identified. So sometimes 1 hour and 2 hours after the birth, we get the child, but they're in a highly traumatized state. So they're admitted to hospitals, and till they become normal, after they become normal, we bring them to our children home, and they are provided the needed nurture at our home. And some children also go on adoption. Prospective parents who don't have issues, as per the law of the government, under the Juvenile Justice Act, they go in adoption. And the children who are not free for adoption, they stay on with us.
Okay. What inspired you, Professor Mohanty, to take this up?
What is this?
Is there any incident that triggered you to start Adruta? What motivated you, inspired you to start Adruta?
Okay. The parent organization is Rava Academy, which promotes the classical forms of art, music, and dance. It's a non-profit as well. So one day, one lady came and said that, I have a child, would you like to engage the child? Our principal is pretty sick, we're looking for an attendant. He said that my daughter will help her out, and please give her food, don't give me any money in return, because I'm not able to feed her. She was living in a slum. So we found that she came with a 6.5-year-old girl. Then we said, how can we make her work? So we sent her to school despite her resistance. Because, and mother said, no, she'll be more and more enabled. She'll be an asset for you, because as she goes from house to house where I work, she helps me. Then he found that this child was hardly 7 years. She could choreograph dances by looking at the TV without understanding the language. So he found this talent. As such, it was an art music dance school. So she was trained, and 2 years she completed the entire Odissi course. And when she was 9 years old, she performed in Delhi International Festival. One day she said, because at that time, there was only one child, and the second child was inducted, who is now studying in Singapore. So she said that, Chamama, they addressed me as Chamama right from the beginning, because I'm bald, and they say, the Chanda Mama, they are above, and here is Chanda Mama. They lovingly called, addressed me as Chanda Mama. So he said that sometimes my mother used to return very late. They attend in different houses, attending to household chores. And it would be 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I used to be very hungry. I used to take stones. So that was an eye-opener.
Okay.
That we live in a world where the children, without knowing that a piece of stone cannot satiate the hunger, in frantic beat to satiate the hunger, they take stones. That was a turning point. We had such a potential child. If we would not have brought her, she would have languished in poverty. She would have grown unnoticed. Now, after 3 years, she became an international artist. And she has also accompanied the team across the world to US, Singapore, Malaysia, and other places. She is the first child. So that was a turning point. We thought there might be such children who need our loving pat. So why not to identify such children and provide an enabling environment for them so that they grow into excellence and join the mainstream society as its prized assets. So that was so along with our Rava Academy, the art music dance school, we started children home with one child. Now, by the grace of Lord, we have now 10 centers across the state. We have 515 children who are being taken care of.
Yeah, so we could see on your website that, children are engaged in so many extracurricular activities like computers, yoga, dance. And it was such a pleasure to see such bright young faces, so talented, actually living their passions. How do you go about identifying, what are they good at? Is there a process that you follow?
Prabhuji, this working for, say, more than 2 decades, we are led to strongly believe rather, every child is born with a possibility, with a unique disposition and ability, unique potentiality. Every child, no child is ordinary. We consider a child to be ordinary because she doesn't conform to our expectations. She is not able to fulfill the dreams which we dream. But every child comes with a possibility, comes with a, some dormant potentiality, which is not visible. But if you are careful, if you observe them from close quarters, then you discover the native inclination or disposition of a child. And if from the childhood, the child is given a supportive nurture, a supportive ambience, every child can grow into excellence. Every child can grow into excellence. Maybe that child is not good at mathematics, could be good at singing. Society also needs good singers, apart from engineers and doctors. So we never impose anything on the child. We identify the native inclination and knack of the child right from the beginning and provide opportunities for them to unfold their talents. That is how some are become very excellent in music, vocal music, some are in dance, some are in fine arts, some are in sports. And now many of them have earned their own identity in the social canvas. And we brought them to give them identity. Now the table has turned. Now we have our identity through the children.
Yeah, that's interesting. How, you try to help them and now they are trying to help you. In fact, some of these dancers, they are so well known and recognized, and they have performed at such various levels, nationally, internationally. They are world famous, I believe. Amazing. I mean, I've personally seen some of the dances. They are, they're just out of the world. Thank you. We also saw that it's just not academics. It's not just, it's just not about performing some activities, but you also train them to take up a profession. You equip them to get employed. Yeah. So can you share something about what do you do in this particular space?
Actually, we feel that our duty, our bounden duty, is like that of a gardener. A gardener cannot get mango out of guava. All that the gardener can do is to provide appropriate nutrition, water, so that the potentiality in the seed gets unfolded. Since every child comes with a possibility, all that you do is we help them to grow. Our job is to provide an appropriate environment and ambience for a child to grow. So besides alphabetical education or formal education in schools and colleges, during the lean hours, they are given the opportunity to hone their talents, to cultivate their talents, to embellish their talents. That is how they grow into excellence. And in the schools also, they are taken as examples of values. So apart from helping them to become more and more efficient, more and more knowledgeable, more and more informed, what is consequential for a person is to also have the qualities of heart, the qualities of the empathy for the people around. That is what makes a good human being. That is what makes good doctor, engineer, and an ideal engineer, even an activist, a real activist. So that is why more stress is given on cultivation of values. But that is what, there are different ways in which we try to infuse the values or instill the values in children. They grow to value-weighted individuals on others. Look at the routine, look at the exposure. They learn things from the surroundings, from people around, from the society around, from their exposure in different ways. So efficiency and goodness must go hand in hand. Otherwise, in absence of value, the efficiency is likely to be abused. So it is value which gives sense of direction to a person, sense of purpose, sense of direction. That is why our priority is that must grow into good human beings apart from cultivating the efficiency. And they get into things by virtue of own merit. Now, when supposing this one child of ours, the second child of ours, Anjali, he qualified in international competitions. He is studying art in Singapore. On merits, he gets scholarship. So we don't have to worry. So they grow by virtue of their own merit, by virtue of their own perseverance.
Yeah, so that's Anjali in Singapore. Can you tell us something about Spandita and Jyotsna also? These are some of your super achievers.
Yeah. Now, they are both in post-graduation now. They came when they were as, young as 1 year old, 2 years old. Now, Spandita is a multi-talent. She's a good student. She topped the university in graduation. Now she's doing post-graduation in home science. And she's an internationally reputed dancer. She's part of the core team which goes across to perform Odissi, because we only promote classical forms of art, music, and dance, because we believe that art, not for the art's sake, art for service and blessedness. So we only promote classical music, classical dance, anything which promotes the higher propensities in a person. Now, Jyotsna is also is good at painting, she's a good singer and dancer as well. So besides her education, she has made a mark in the institutions she has studied, and she is known for her humility, for her large-heartedness and empathy, and Spandita is no less. So they have grown from strength to strength by virtue of their own, effort, endeavor, and a supportive environment, which by grace of the divine is available there at Adruta. So both these things go together to define or to explain the success.
Thank you. Thank you. Very inspiring to see such super jewels in your throne, or in your crown, I would say. In fact, I was seeing some of the pictures and I was surprised. I was not surprised. I was amazed to see that, children have excelled in many aspects of life. Now, for example, these children, they are like, they've excelled in mathematics. Then we have children receiving scholarship from the Odisha government for doing very well in the 10th grade. So these are the two students who received scholarship. Then also in sports at the national level, you have created champions in running, chess, football. So it's a lot of all-round development. In fact, it's a desire of every parent that the child should find his or her uniqueness, talent. We should cultivate that talent. They should perform. They should excel. And you've done this for so many children. I'm sure you have a large team behind you. Can you tell us something about your team?
Actually, this is a team effort. Sometimes people, single us out because we are visible in the public or in the screen, but there are many people who work behind the screen, unnoticed, nameless. They are the people who really drive the organization. It is their commitment and dedication which make difference to the children. Given the fact that the children are born with such latent potentiality, they are the people who make difference to them. And as you have seen, many of our children have, bagged gold medal in national sphere, in chess, in debate, in sports. So our approach is that we never impose anything on a child, and once we discover a talent in the child, he or she is given the appropriate support in form of learning from an expert teacher. So that is what we really try to organize. So they grow under the tutelage of experts in the field. There is no let up in this regard, irrespective of our solvency or insolvency, because the children grow, time doesn't wait. So at any cost, at every cost, we try to ensure that the best of teachers are available to guide our children, to teach our children.
Okay. So you don't really compromise on the quality of human resources. You need to help children develop, cultivate their talents. You try to give them the best. Because we've seen
Not
that
only
in
that,
the kind of...
Yes, not only that, you see, we ensure that the child doesn't feel that parents, he or she does the parents. We don't call it orphanage, we call it a children's home. Because if the children say that I'm staying in orphanage, they are reminded of the fact that they don't have parents. So apart from the physical, care in terms of the needed nutrition for them, what is important is that given emotional succor and the psychic nourishment. So we don't give them old garments, lest they feel that because they don't have parents, they are under duress to put on the garments of others, a garment is already worn by others. We don't give them these old garments. That is one way. And moreover, the children are also will be happy to know that we have collective birthday for the children. On Shravani Purnima, Rakhi Purnima, the birthday of all the children is solemnized on one day for the simple reason that there are many children, the date of their birth is not known. So that is the day, when the functionaries, as our children, they celebrate, solemnize, and all our mentors, sympathizers, people associated directly or indirectly, proximately or remotely, they join us. It's a day of big festivity. And the whole day there is a kitchen, people come in large numbers and participate in all the 10 centers. That is the collective birthday of the children. Nowadays, there is a greater and greater participation of the community because they prefer to celebrate or solemnize the birthday of their children, their marriage anniversary with the children and children homes. Now, it has multifarious positive fallout. That is, the children feel that they're part of a bigger family. And people who come with their friends and relatives, they're also sensitized about the cause for which Adruta, stands. So it is not all about raising children to excellence, but to sensitize the community that they have a role to play in making a difference to such children who live deprived and marginalized and have lost their identity for some reason or the other. So that is why we in principle, do not take the support. It is driven by community support, individual donations by like-minded people and organizations and companies. So we link the community with the growth of the children so that they feel that this Adruta home is a part of the extension of home, is an extension of our home. They have a sense of identification. This is evident. The first child, Purnima, who has married to an engineer who is based at Hyderabad, Kazumen. So, in her marriage, there are 3,500 people who attended the marriage ceremony. And they'll be surprised that there is no strain on us because the logistics, the kitchen was taken up by the community. So that shows that by grace, the children loved and their, their things are appropriated, self-appropriated by the community, they feel that the children of Adruta also the members of their extended family.
So it's interesting to know that you will take the child when the child is just born, and you will work with the child, be with the child, and ensure that they get married too. So that's quite a long commitment you have with the children. That's very interesting. Today's times, we are not allowed to move outside our house. You know, as a family, we are all together. It's been, I think, more than 3 months we've been doing so, and sometimes it feels a little suffocating. How do you manage 500 children not moving out? What is it that you all do?
Actually, that this lockdown was maybe oppressing for some people, and those are used to go out and spend their time. But lockdown come as a great opportunity for our children. It was a great opportunity for the children because they got full time, not only to attend their lessons online, but also they got ample opportunity and lean time to hone their talents. So, I think, yes, this is the routine for them. So no one tells them that routine is not that they look at the routine and do accordingly. This is internalized by the children. They know that they have to get up at 4:45, but at 5 o'clock there is a prayer, and after that there is one thing follows the other, and each child understands what he has needs. And this lockdown period, even the cooks and outsiders were prohibited to enter the campus. So it is children who are doing all the cooking and everything, cleaning, cooking, gardening, and other things, because no one was allowed inside as per the government mandate. So they got an opportunity to do everything, even gosalas, and 2-3 places we have gosalas, things to work there also. So that gave them a greater exposure, and that also helped them to cultivate more expertise in different things. And that is how they opened up. And there are also, they joined some competitions online, some music competitions, some art competitions, and they have also bagged prizes in those competitions.
Okay, so you've kept them busy. Thank you. Professor Mohanty, okay. Professor Mohanty, this project of yours requires a lot of investment. You need to have a building. You need to have a lot of facilities of health. I've seen, you all provide health facilities to children because children do fall ill, their uniforms, their meals. And, how did you manage to, provide all this? What helped you to manage your resources?
Actually, you can say that I must say, the last thing is first. I must confess, which people with a scientific mind or a logical mind cannot accept prima facie. It is by and large grace driven. For us, the divine grace is more concrete than any other concrete things of life. Now, in the human plane, how does it work? I'm explaining to you. There are wage earners. Those who work in the field, they earn their bread by working from dawn to dusk. So they contribute also 2 kg of rice per month. They are stakeholders of our project. A roadside tea vendor gives maybe 2 kg of sugar or 5 kg of sugar. And we encourage donations in kind locally, because if you take money or we take donation in cash, and we are going to convert it into kind. They are not going to consume cash, so we convert it in kind. So why not to get the kind from local people, donations in kind, rice, dal. So there are many people in the locality who are our patrons. Every month we make a call and drop in, and we collect 5 kg of dal or sugar, whatever the children need. There is a commitment card and we accordingly collect. So part of the logistics is maintained. But we have a severe crunch in trying to give them good education, healthcare facilities. There is no let up on quality of education, quality of healthcare facilities. and the nutrition. So there is no let up. So we try our best to reach out to the community, but even then the challenges are stupendous. So, and moreover, we have the house rents are exorbitantly high. So though we have land, we're not able to have our infrastructure. Some support is there. Moreover, the community participation doesn't match with the requirements of the children. It is growing day by day, and by our organization also, because of its experience, some credibility, we have ATG exemption. Anyone who builds gets tax exemption under ATG, and foreign contribution also. FCRA registration is there because of our transparency. So there is definitely people's party flow of money, but because we are not taking any regular aid from the government, there are always uncertainties. And the uncertainties, I should tell you, taught us how to work hard, how to our children, the workers, they struggle against odds. So that also awakens us. That also makes us feel that apart from the human support, there is a divine support, and that is an answering support. And He comes, the Lord comes in different forms, in form of different, people extending their helping hand. Apparently, it is people's sympathy, but we feel there is a divine intervention which brings these people, like-minded people. For example, today you are doing it. I take it a different way. Yes, you took the initiative. Pavitra took the initiative because you are working. But why we? Why did you choose us? We think there is some divine play. If there's some thought was planted in our mind and you invited us. So every small thing or a big thing, we feel that is a part of a cosmic program. And we, the lesser mortals, since we do not know what is his ways, we keep struggling, keep working, and whatever little intelligence is planted in us, we try and we design, we work. And so there is no let up in our work. It's not that we believe in him, that you remain. One who believes in him cannot remain passive, cannot remain inert, cannot remain inactive. One who believes in the divine, he or she must be most active, because he cannot but reach out to people who need your support, need their support. That is precisely what has happened with us. So do not know what is the day after tomorrow for us, but we try our best and try to reach out to people, and let's see how things work out.
Thank you. So your faith in the Lord is giving you the inspiration and the motivation to go on, because I can understand that with 500 children, the expenditure can be a lot, and I'm sure there are times when funds may be a challenge for you, but the show has to go on because children are there. They need to be taken care of. Their education, their nutrition, their needs have to be fulfilled. So I can understand that. There are times when you may be feeling a little down financially, but possibly the belief and the faith or the hand of God is playing its role very well.
Yes,
what is your vision,
like,
Professor Mohanty? What is your vision? What do you want to see Adruta in the next 10 years?
Yeah. I must tell you that the financial crunch is the greatest crunch, the greatest bottleneck on the way, but it has not prevented us from thinking beyond tomorrow. Now we have the that kind of roadmap in our mind and a strong passion to translate it into living reality. We want that no child who is deprived or marginalized or parentless as a destitute child should go unattended. No child should go unattended. That is our long-term decision. That is why we want children home, Adruta home in all the 31 districts of the state to begin with. And we would like to also encourage other such sister organizations. We want to work as a nodal organization to encourage, give the expertise, and share our experience, larger than life experience with other organizations, so that replicate. Actually, Chief Justice Waghela, who was also for some time Chief Justice of Mumbai, they invited our children. I also there. I made a presentation because of our government, And Justice Wagala said that you should go and see how things can run like this. Why don't you promote such organizations, those who are willing to work for the children, give them land, give them buildings so that they work for you. So that is what also took place at good exposure. So we want that it should be replicated across the country. But to begin with, we have 10 homes, but still there are 20 districts uncovered. We want to have our presence in every district because nowadays, as per the government mandate, children of one district cannot be transferred to another. So we always prefer to have our children homes in district headquarters so that the children have access to good education and hospital facilities. Besides this, we have one more vision. We do not know whether it will be translated into living reality, but we sincerely believe that it should also take place. We want to have home and children in one campus because the old people, when they live with the children, they don't miss their family, and the children don't miss their parentage. They become mutually supportive. So if the children home and old age home can be their club, then there will be a symbiotic relationship between the children and old people. Old people share their experience with the children, expertise with the children, and the children also give them at-home feeling for the old people. So old age home and children home, that becomes complementary, that becomes symbiotic. So we have also a vision. Already we have started in a small way. In some places, children homes, there are
Professor Mohanty, we are not able to hear you well.
You could not hear me?
Yeah, just the last 30 seconds, yes.
No, actually, we have also the vision to have old age home and children home in one campus. The idea is, if old people live with the children, with all the facilities what they've been enjoying, you can provide them. And just as we have children, we have our state-of-the-art facility in our children homes, despite our constraints. So the old people don't feel that they're away from home, and the children don't miss their parentage. The old people, share their experiences, and expertise with the children, with stories, with, in helping them in value inculcation. And the children also, create a family ambience so that they don't have this monotony of old, life. Because sometimes many of the privileged people also, children are abroad, they feel lonely. The husband and wife, they are both incapacitated, they need an attendance. So our organization, is rich in cadres. So we can give one-to-one attendance to the old people. Old people are taken care of. At the same time, the children also get a positive or a holistic nurture. So our vision is to have old age home and children one campus.
Okay, so you take care of children and you will take care of the senior citizens. And in fact, in our scriptures, it is said that it is very important to take care of children and elderly people. So I think that's a big contribution which you're trying to make and which you are making in today's society. Professor Mohanty, can you hear me?
Yes, very much.
Okay. Professor, a lot of people who are on this talk right now, we are all either working or we are self-employed, and we leave home every day and we come back. And when we come back, we see, okay, how much money did I earn? Now, you are not in this league. For you, it's not about earning money. So what is it that gives you satisfaction at the end of the day that you're taking care of these children?
It is in fact, this is, I should say that seva or service is self-rewarding. When you do a seva or a piece of service, this is a piece of service with an expectation of some return, it becomes commerce. So service is self-rewarding. The satisfaction that one derives, the sense of fulfillment that one has by discharging a piece of service or difference to the other, that works as a reinforcement to do more and more. Because you feel like doing things more and more if you feel gratified, feel satisfied, you feel fulfilled, it gives you joy or ecstasy of living. So if the true service, if you give yourself, if you offer yourself for a cause, definitely you have a sense of satisfaction which doesn't have a substitute. So that keeps us going, not only me, but all the workers. They are so committed because they find joy and ecstasy in an act of commitment. And when we find children growing up to excellence, how can there be greater satisfaction than this? Just as a gardener who has planted a seed and nurtured a seedling and they plant, when the plant bears fruit, what a joy in the mind of a gardener. So similarly, we feel greatly fulfilled when we see children growing well, growing with a positive mindset, and trying to earn their own identity, earn a niche in the minds and hearts of the people around, the teachers. They are not only academically big achievers in the school, but they are also examples of values. As you have seen the principal saying that they not only achieve excellence, but they are role models for other students. They are disciplined, they are short-spoken, soft-spoken, helping others. So that is how they also make a difference. Our children make a difference to their friends in the school and alma mater.
Okay. Professor, has this, I'm sure there have been incidents when children who have passed out of out of Adruta have met you, have called you to express their gratitude for your contribution to their life. Does that happen?
Brother, actually, this is not a very old organization. The one child has got married, and the oldest child, they are in post-graduation. So, there are some children who came a little late, some boys who have graduated and just post-graduated. They are actually now, they decided to work with Adruta, extend their service to Adruta. And the situation has not come when they go out and they have their means of livelihood. And so, but I must tell you one thing here. When you plant a tree, you should not expect the fruit from the tree. We never tell them that after you pass out, you join Adruta. That is their choice. They can choose their life. We encourage girls and boys to get married, have a social life. They're free to choose their own career. Our duty ends when they have a foothold in life. They have earned, they have become self-reliant. Just as a tree, when it takes roots, then a gardener doesn't have to, because it takes nutrients by the built-in system mechanism. So till then we nurture them. Till they have a foothold in life, till they have an identity, especially girls, we try to find a match for them because nowadays they are born, they right from childhood they're vegetarians who don't take onion, garlic, because we believe that the food intake also makes a difference to your biochemistry and also to your thoughts. And so we believe that it is one of the conditions which influence human thinking and human actions. So we give them pure vegetarian food. So so we have to, for girls especially, we have to find a suitable match for them. They are good, they're efficient, but they must have a compatible match. So so what we do is now we are still on the way, and we do not know what is the nature of the tomorrow that is awaiting us. But that is our vision, that every child is free to choose his or her career. It is not that because Adruta has nurtured them, so they should be, even if they do not become, supposing by any freak of circumstances, someone doesn't become loyal, even forgets. We don't mind because we don't have expectations except making a difference to a child, except enabling a child. Our purpose is to provide an enabling environment for a child so that the latent potentiality in a child gets unfolded, grows into excellence, and joins the mainstream society. That's all. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
So since
Yeah.
we don't have an expectation, so there is no point of being being disappointed if a child grows, then he forgets the past, because they're human beings. They may forget everything. They may get lost in the lure of the world. But we feel that given the nurture, they will not go astray. They will be on the path. They will be good human beings wherever they are. So all that we do is we have to keep praying for them as in now, and what they will do, what they can do, or whether they will support us or not, that is not in our mindset. They have
Thank
to
you.
be they have to help themselves and the society.
Definitely. Definitely. So I can imagine that, when you walk into your school or into your home, and when children come and greet you, there must be so much of happiness, so much of satisfaction to see children who are being nurtured. That's a very subtle feeling which we all cherish. So, Professor Mohanty, there are many people on this talk, and I'm sure you touch their hearts. We would like to know how we can contribute, how we can help Adruta in your mission.
Okay, people can participate. This is an opportunity to participate. People can participate depending on their ability and their mindset, because many people have ability but they don't have mindset. Many people have mindset but they don't have ability. They want to do something, they don't capable. But there are also people who have mind to share their fortunes and have the capacity, have the fortune to share. So so they can be definitely a part of Adruta. Actually, Adruta is nobody's organization. It has an open texture. Anybody and everybody can join, becomes a stakeholder. As I told you, even a wage earner also is a stakeholder. There is a peon who gives 2 kg of sugar for the last 15 years. 15 years after retire, 2 kg of sugar, we value it more. How much you give, that matters, but with what sincerity, what mindset you give, that lends value to what you give. So they can give us, definitely, they can do wire transfer, they can have, supposing we have a system of endowments. Supposing someone wants to institute some endowment in memory of his loved one, they can put a fixed deposit, and interest coming out of the endowment can go to nurture the children. That is one way. Second is ongoing subscription, maybe a small contribution every month, maybe one-time contribution. There are different ways. Or they can sponsor the expenses of a child or 2 children, or not a particular child, but 1 child, 2 children, or 3 children, like that. So depending on their capacity, they can definitely extend that support, needed support for the children home, because what really sometimes stands in the way is a financial crunch. Sometimes there are there are circumstances when you feel that we are going to dead end, because I'm maintaining 15 children and 100 workers on daily basis, giving them best of education, nutrition, medical facilities. That is why you might be thinking that I'm a devoted person. No, it's not that. I'm sharing from experience. Unless and until you accept some unseen force, you can't explain the phenomenon. We fail to figure out how every child is being taken care of, despite our insolvency or uncertainty. So people can definitely will be grateful, and if people also join the endeavor, because it is a team effort, it's a collective endeavor, and it is a collective responsibility of people to try to make a difference to those. And it is, in a sense, it's a real investment, because there cannot be better way of parking the fortunes, and other than trying to nurture the children, the helpless children, children who have lost their identity, and so that they earn their own identity.
Thank you. So, Professor Mohanty, do you get support from the corporates?
There are some corporates also give support, and because of this lockdown, there is a business is at stake, and many people have dropped out. Even During lockdown, we had great challenges because the people who give donations in kind, rice, dal, they didn't open their door. They were afraid of coming out. So our logistic was completely blocked, and we had to send cash support to different organizations, different chapters, there are 10 centers. So things are available. The grocery was available, vegetables are available, but we were collecting the things which were collected from the individual members, donors. They were handicapped. They were prevented from coming out. So that was also a big challenge because we don't have any corpus fund. So we are also hoping to have a corpus fund, so maybe the exigency or emergency from time to time. So now things are, and another thing which adds to our challenge is, if a child comes, knocks at our door, we cannot say no. There are many people who think that we are abnormal because so many people and no definite funds to flow, but you are inducting more children. We do not want to induct more children to add numbers. But we feel that if a child in distress, for example, a child, an abandoned child, we notice an abandoned child, how can we close our door to a child? Because later on we may have money, but the child won't have the opportunity. So despite, irrespective of our capacity, we never close our door against any destitute or distressed child. So that is why we do not know, maybe in one day, 5-10 new members are there. Maybe for 1 month, there are no inductions. So we are not sure because we cannot say no to anyone. In a sense, we do not have any limit. Because how can you push a limit? How can you close the door to a child when 515 children are being managed without an aid? If 510 children, our logic is, if 510 children are being managed without a regular aid, why not 511? One more. Who are you to close the door? The same system, same force which manages them, and no child has gone without proper food, proper dress, proper education. They get best of education in their locality. How this is possible? So if this is possible, what is wrong if 5 more children come? And if they join us, also there is a strain, but they are not, their needs are not compromised. That is the dynamics.
Thank you. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Professor Mohanty. You have a large heart, and I'm sure your ability to say yes to every child who walks into your home is because there is a yes which the community is, providing. There's a yes which the divine is providing. And just to share with everybody, if you would like to be a part of Adruta, if you want to contribute, these are the bank details. I'm sure you can visit their website also, and you can make some contribution. If you want to visit Orissa and see their infrastructure, I'm sure Professor Mohanty will be more than happy to take you through the tour. Thank you very much, Professor Mohanty. Any last words before we depart?
Actually, we consider the grace of God, blessings, loving support of like-minded people like you and organizations as our capital. That is the capital, the blessings of people like you, kindreds like you, grace of God is the capital on which we build upon or we bank upon. So we continue to have at least a soft corner in our heart for the children, for such children. Doesn't matter where they are. So that will make a difference to you, and that will give a feel-good experience in you, in your inner self, inner psyche. So that is what we need, apart from the physical support and monetary support. What is more consequentially to care for them, space in our heart for them, that will also make an unseen difference to the children. And you are all welcome. If you come to Odisha, you will definitely be taken. It's not, we will not be happy. It will be, we'll consider it's a rare opportunity. We will be without words to have you with us. And many friends have visited us, and that will be inspiring, gratifying for all of us. And we have also small guest rooms where you can also relax and you can stay comfortably without staying in a hotel. So you be with the children, spend some day with the children. That will give you a unique experience of being with the children and sharing your time with them.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Professor Mohanty.
Okay.
In fact, my daughter has just earned her first salary. She's still studying, and she said, "I want to contribute my first salary of 20,000 to Adruta." So please bless her also.
So that you see, these are the point is you ask me now, what makes you going? What makes us going despite the odds and oddities and hurdles and hindrances is this, that we find when you're working, you find like-minded people, then you feel more enthused, more encouraged, more optimistic, more sanguine about the thing that you do. So, and they are God sent. They are God sent. And it is said that there is a cure before the crisis. The crisis comes, a difficulty comes, solution is already there in the state of nature. When the first man descended on this planet, the food was available for man to eat and water was available to drink, because man will have hunger. So nature first created water and food for the man to survive. Food is prepared in the mother, which the child can take and nourish. So we're not creating an artificial problem. We are going along with nature, bringing children, nurturing them. So it becomes the duty of nature, the divine responsibility, because after all, he has brought them into existence. She must have some people in his mind who will come, when they will come, what they will do. It is all part of his program, which already he knows.
Thank you, Professor Mohanty. Thank you for your optimism.
Thank you all those who are here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're so optimistic in these times where we are thinking, how will we survive? How will we fend for our family? But you are extremely optimistic that you will take care of your 500 children. So that gives us a lot of hope that, there is a lot of water, there is a lot of fruit, there's a lot of cure before the crisis. Thank you very much for joining us on Pavitra, and we wish you all the very best in all your endeavors, and may the Lord be always with you. And
so we also, on our part, brother, we Adruta, on behalf of Adruta, the children, the functionaries, I should say that it was a very heartening experience to be with Pavitra and all of you with whom I have interacted. We are moved by your humility, your simplicity, and your devotion. That will also inspire us to go further with greater enthusiasm and strength. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you. Thank you very much for joining us. Stay tuned and have a Pavitra evening.
Thank you.